The original Planet of the Apes hit theaters in 1968. 4 sequels followed in the early 70s, and in 2001, Tim Burton's reboot of the original starred Mark Wahlberg. Now, 43 years after the Charlton Heston classic, we finally get to learn how all this monkey business got started. Rise of the Planet of the Apes stars James Franco as scientist Will Rodman, who works in a lab in San Francisco. Will's father, played by John Lithgow, has Alzheimer's disease. While trying to find a cure, Will tests some of the new medicines on chimps. Will ends up taking one of the chimps home to live with him. Caesar becomes extremely intelligent, but the medicine also has side effects, which lead to problems both with the chimp and with Will's father. Eventually, things start going bananas. It's tough to call Rise of the Planet of the Apes a true action film because it takes so long before the real action kicks in, and that's the biggest problem with the movie. The story leading up to the inevitable showdown is interesting, but it could have been cut in favor of more of the ape versus humans battle. There are a lot of medical, lab, science scenes and dialogue that slows things down and reminded me too much of school. The acting for a sci-fi fantasy film is passable. Franco is certainly better here than he was hosting the Oscars, and Lithgow is always terrific. Others in the cast include Frida Pinto from Slumdog Millionaire, Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter films, and Brian Cox. I haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes, but I do know that there are a lot of references in Rise to that film. So if you're a fan of the '68 classic, you'll appreciate that. Even the title pays homage to the series. The real stars of this movie are director Rupert Wyatt and his supporting cast and crew. All the ape roles were performed by real actors using motion capture technology. Then CGI apes were created following all the human movements. It's the best use of motion capture in any film so far. The apes seem so real, you'll think there had to be actual people inside costumes. Andy Serkis, who played Gollum in the Lord of the Rings films and King Kong in previous motion capture roles, is tremendous as Caesar, who has more screen time than Franco. Look for Rise to get strong consideration for visual effects honors during the 2011 awards season. Rise of the Planet of the Apes is rated PG-13. There's plenty of action, violence, and some intense, scary scenes. It's appropriate for kids 12 and up who understand the concept of science fiction. Younger viewers could easily be spooked by the subject matter. On the official Kid Crick report card, Rise of the Planet of the Apes gets a B. The ending does leave open for the possibility of a sequel, but that may depend on how this one does at the box office. Rise is the last big-budget major studio film of the summer, and not a bad way for the season to end. And personally, now I can't wait to watch the original. I'm Lights Camera Jackson, your Kid Critic.